Now, this breaking news is relevant to the 2024 elections, ahead of which the Grand Old Party has pitched for paper ballot voting. The Congress MP Manish Tiwari has said that the 2024 elections must be held via paper ballots. He says, and I quote, "Democracy is too precious to be left to technology. The question is not that EVMs are manipulated. The question is that EVMs can be manipulated. That is reason enough to go back to paper ballots." The BJP has hit back at this, saying, and I quote, that EVM is an excuse as the Congress, want to save the family in the forthcoming elections. Listen in to those reactions.
Democracy is too precious to be left to technology. The question is not that EVMs are manipulated. The question is that EVMs can be manipulated. That is reason enough to go back to paper ballots. For the simple reason that the electronic voting machine is at the end of the day a machine. And like any machine, it can be rigged, it can be hacked, it can be interdicted, it can be played around with. I do not understand the paternalistic obsession of the Election Commission of India with electronic voting machines. Even countries which had adopted electronic voting machines have gone back to paper ballots for the simple reason or for the apprehension that they can be interfered with. So under those circumstances, the 2024 elections must be held on paper ballots.
We're crossing over to CNN News 18 senior editor Pallavi Ghosh share us more on this. Pallavi, correct me if I'm wrong, but India hasn't used paper ballots since the 1990s. To go back to that system, how realistic is this demand?
Absolutely correct, and the reason why India went into EVM is because given the condition of the country, large population, and the kind of geographical expanse, it was believed that, it was taking a very, very long time as far as the paper slips are concerned, because if you remember those days, counting used to go on for days. And at that point of time, the argument which was given in favor of the EVM machines was that was open to manipulation. You had those strong boxes inside those strong houses. There were reports that, those boxes have been taken away with. I remember the elections in 1980s in Mewat, Haryana, where the boxes were picked up and stolen away by a political party. So this was a reason why we went into EVM machines, but the Congress has, politically speaking and officially, always been opposed to EVM machines, saying that, it is open to misuse. There have been cases where no matter which button you press on, inevitably it goes to the BJP. And, there have been instances of EVM machines being faulty and being hacked. And therefore, Congress, along with many other opposition political parties, have been making a strong pitch in favor of going back to the ballot papers. The Election Commission has gone on record to say that these days we are now having not just the EVM machines, but the VVPAT slips as well, which means that, if you insist on a physical counting to take place, there are no slips which come out simultaneously. And that ensures transparency and also ensures that there is no messing around as far as the machines are concerned.
Pallavi, I'm going to request that you stay with us because right now we're going to listen into the BJP's reaction to this, then we'll come back to you.
Now, and in the forthcoming elections, परिवार को है हार से बचाना, and therefore this bahana. Unfortunately, the Congress party thinks that people will not ask them questions about their conditional commitment to constitutional institutions. When they win an election in Karnataka and Himachal Pradesh, the EVM and the Election Commission is fine. But when they are seeing an imminent defeat in the upcoming state elections or in the national elections, then they start making the ground for an alibi to protect the first family from the loss. This just shows that the Congress party has no faith in the constitution and constitutional institutions. If Supreme Court gives a judgment in their favor, it is fine. Otherwise, they raise doubts on Supreme Court. They raise doubts on Bharat Ki Sena. They raise doubts on Bharat Ki Sansthaएं. And nowadays, they have started even questioning the Janta and calling Janta Rakshas.
All right, to get us more on this, we're crossing back over to our senior editor, Pallavi Ghosh. Pallavi, so nothing new there when it comes to the BJP's reaction, because we've previously heard the BJP criticize the fact that the Congress is only working for one family.
And in fact, the BJP has often raised this question that when the Congress was in power, why didn't they introduce the EVM, the slips? Why are they now objecting to a EVM? And it is only because the Congress is worried about the results because they haven't done too well. And every time there's an election round the corner, the Congress raises the bogey of faulty EVM machines. In fact, to strengthen their case, the BJP makes the point that in elections where the Congress wins, then why don't you have a problem with EVM machines? Just recently, for example, in Karnataka, also in other states like in Himachal Pradesh, that time the EVM machines conducted the elections, but you never seem to be having a problem with. I don't think there's going to be any going back on this. Election Commission is very clear that we are transparent, the officers are trained, and they have VVPAT slips. You can always ask for a recount. So why do you have a problem with the EVM machines per se?
Absolutely. Pallavi, thank you so much for joining us and bringing us those details. With this, we're going to listen into some more statements that are coming in the story.
मैं एक बात आपके माध्यम से कहूं कि ये पहली बार नहीं हुआ। ईवीएम को लेकर के कुछ बहुत ही जेन्युइन सवाल है और उन सवालों में से अभी तक इलेक्शन कमीशन उनको निराकार करने में कामयाब नहीं हुआ। जैसे मसलन एक बार डेमोन्स्ट्रेशन किया तो हमने कहा लेट्स अलाउ अस टू टच द मशीन, तो बिना वो टच करने की इजाज़त नहीं मिली। तो जाहिर तौर पे कोई भी टेक्नोलॉजी में अगर उसमें मैनिपुलेशन की संभावना है तो हमारे पास क्या विकल्प बचता है। किसी भी जनतंत्र में, किसी भी लोकतंत्र में उपकरण महत्वपूर्ण नहीं है, अंत महत्वपूर्ण है। आउटकम क्या है, लोगों के मन में संदेह ना हो। दुनिया के बड़े बड़े देश ईवीएम इस्तेमाल करके वापस चले गए पेपर बैलेट पे। न जाने क्यों हमारे इलेक्शन कमीशन को लगता है कि वो आर्टिकल 324 को मिसरीड करते हैं। वो किसी उपकरण के पक्ष में नहीं है, फ्री एंड फेयर इलेक्शन के पक्ष में।